What is up, YouTube? Hope you guys having a wonderful day. I want to share like a red pill or a realization that really hit me pretty deep, and it kind of sold up my insecurities about just being like a tan colored Asian individual, right? And that's the fact that um dating in Southeast Asia or yeah, dating in Southeast Asia is nothing but colorism. Excuse me. For those that don't know what colorism is, it's in the sense that depending on the skin color that you come out the womb with and you grow up to be, that determines your future in that society slash economy, right? Or in other words, the color of your skin determines the class you will be in the rest of your life. And it kind of relates to the fact that if you have darker skin, you were considered a farmer, a peasant, and you were always doing outside physical labor work. And in other words, you were a serf, you were a peasant, lower class. And if you had white, pale, lighter skin, then you were considered upper class because you were in the office and you were always indoors inside, or you came from a well-off family. But in my eyes, like that doesn't make any sense to me because I came out the womb white. Then as I grew up, I started getting lighter and darker and lighter and darker. Like during the wintertime, I get lighter, and then during the summertime I get darker. So it's weird, but it's like it's just my biology, it's my genetics. But overall, I haven't. At one point in my life, I was so insecure. I was thought about squeezing lemon juice on my skin just to lighten my skin tone, right? When in reality, you got people here in America. This was a culture shock, but you got people here in America who are going to tanning beds and getting artificial tans instead of just going outside or going to the beach and just getting tanned by the sun. When for me, it's like if I'm outside for like 1 or 2 hours, I get a tan, which is it's not a big deal. It's just I like being outside more. I think everybody should be outside. But technology, phones, computers, video games, times have changed. But overall, enough of my yeah, tangent or whatever. Overall, my homeboy, right? My homeboy, he's a good looking guy, but he's just much shorter. He's a bit overweight for his size, but he had tons of matches when he was in Laos. When I went to Laos, because he was telling me about like, hey bro, hey, sign up all the dating, the dating apps, Tinder, Bumble, all this other stuff, right? When I did it, I got maybe two matches. And one of them was like a lady boy. So I was a bit confused, but then that's when it hit me and I realized, oh wow, like this isn't what I expected. Then I go into public areas like coffee shops, restaurants, malls, and I could just tell that women just did not like me. I don't know if it was just pure intimidation. I was coming off too strong. My facial expression, because I'm always walking around looking like stoic, stonehead. But overall, I realized that um like colorism is very big in Asia, especially Southeast Asia. And if you're not light skin or white skin, you're kind of like trash. I hate to say it, but they consider you as trash, like bottom of the barrel, a nobody. Even if you're like 6 foot tall, muscular, and got money, they don't care about that. You could literally be a homeless, fat, short, white skinned Asian or white male, like Caucasian male, and you could get more women in Southeast Asia than you could get in America. That's why, like, I don't really have an issue with the whole, Asian woman, white male, social dynamics. It's just the fact that there's this like there's a stigma and stereotype that comes with those relationships, and they're always like 99% true. Like, I remember I was going to Lumpur, Laos, right? And there was this like white Caucasian dude who was from Canada, and his wife was Laos. And I could already tell, she wasn't even interested in being Laos. It was just kind of weird because it was like you would assume somebody with a strong ethnic culture would be proud to be in, her family homeland country. But this guy had more pride and more enthusiasm and energy of being in Laos than she did. And I'm just like, yeah, the stereotypes just write itself. Like, you can't even make this up. But once I got past that and I realized that, oh wow, like women here really don't like, my kind. When I say my kind, I'm talking about like, dark skin, tan, or even any type of color on on your skin, right? And what's funny is that, like, I'm above average. I'm like 5'10", 5'11". I'm like 170 pounds, 22% body fat. I'm considered like, like muscular fit. I'm not big, but I'm also not too small. So I don't know. Maybe that played a part of like how it intimidated these women. But the brown skin tan did not help at all. That kind of just like just ruined the deal. But for the most part, most Asian women in Southeast Asia, their preference, even though according to most people, their preference when it comes to like face value is their own people or white Caucasian. When it comes to their own people, they'll choose a lighter skin tone individual before they'll choose somebody like me who's a dark skin tan individual. Then if they can't get to me, then they'll get the white Caucasian. And this is like something I just had to slowly accept, but it's the truth. Because in my eyes, I'll be honest. I'll be honest. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, a pale, lighter skinned Asian woman is beautiful, but there's just something about like brown skinned Asian women. Like, I don't know what it is. Like, they're just different in their own like league and category. I hate to say it like that, but they're just more attractive because of the fact that one of the reasons why they're more attractive is because you don't really see them a lot. You actually see more pale Asian women, and the fact that you see more of them is because of the fact that there's a lot of skin whitening creams that are available in Southeast Asia, and that stuff actually works. I haven't tested it, but I know an African guy who was like the shade of purple, and he used that stuff, and now he's like the same shade as I am, which I'm like a dark brown, mild brown. I'm yellow under the light, but for the most part, I'm considered light to some standards to people, but I'm considered dark in Asia. So, which that's not a big deal to me. All I know is that I'm not stressing over colorism. I just wanted to bring the issue up because I remember I came across this video of this very tan Asian guy, and he just felt upset like the way how people would treat him compared to his like siblings and cousin who are much lighter. And it's a cruel world, man. Like, you're not you don't know what to do with, like, I mean, you don't know how to process those type of negative emotions. I don't blame you. All I know is that I'm taking advantage of who I am and what I do. And if people want to judge me for what I look like instead of just talking to my character, then that's their problem. I don't want to talk to them. But yeah, hope you guys have a wonderful day. I'll see you guys later.